Eula is about to come back in version 3.8, and as you can see in the title and the description, well, really anything in this video, to be honest, you can see that we're talking about her today. And the reason why we're talking about her is because it's been a little bit since we've seen her in Genshin Impact. She's considered one of the rarest characters in the game. That's why today we're going to be doing a pre-farm and build guide like we've been doing with the previous characters in this whole freaking thing you call YouTube, and we're going to be talking about what you're going to need to build her and everything in between. So what is going on, my dudes? Natasha here, back again with another Genshin Impact video. And of course, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out, and of course leave a comment. Would love to hear your guys' opinions about this. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Eula is a Cryo Claymore user and a 5-star unit to boot from Mondstadt, and of course, she again is considered one of the rarest characters because of how little she is rerun. And that's crazy to really think about because of the fact that she is rerun so little. It's bewildering to me that that's even had to be the case. But we're not here to talk about that. Let's go ahead and talk about what you're going to need to build her, right? As we scroll down here, as you can see on this side right here, there's going to be some, this is basically the lump sum of what you're going to need, but we're going to go over this individually. So number one, as you can see here, you have the Shavita Jade Silvers. You're going to need one of these at the very least. And then of course you go up to the upgraded version, which are these Shavita Jade Fragments. You're gonna need a grand total of 9. You get the next round, which is Shavita Jade Chunks. You're gonna need 9 of those, followed by, last but not least, the Shavita Jade Gemstones, which are gonna need 6 of those in total. Now remember, 3 of these Shavita Jade Silvers make a fragment, 3 of these fragments make a chunk, and then 3 of these chunks make a gemstone. So it's a lot of farming. What bosses you're going to need to farm, and this actually works out in our favor a little bit, is you're going to need to farm opponents like the Cryo Regisvine, Cryo Hypostasis, and of course Boreas, the weekly boss in Mondstadt, as they drop those. So what's really cool about that is the next thing we're going to talk about are these crystalline blooms. Now the crystalline blooms are the boss mats from the Cryo Hypostasis, which you need to farm anyway to get those Jade, Shavita, whatever the heck you want to call them, the gemstones, the fragments, the chunks, and all that stuff. You're going to need to farm that boss to get 46 crystalline blooms, which is tedious. It really is tedious, but if you get it done, you only have to do it like what? It's like drops 2 to 3, mostly 3. It's not gonna take too long. At most, it'll take you 23 times fighting the boss. At most. Which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but it's what you gotta do to farm the character. Now up next, we're gonna talk about the Mondstadt specialty, Dandelion Seeds. You're gonna need 168 of these total to rank your character from 1 to the last ascension of level 90. You will get these by using Animo characters on designated areas in Mondstadt that have the dandelions there. So you'll use a character like Jean or Kazuha or someone like that, and you'll be able to get these dandelion seeds in no time. Now, of course, the last couple things that we want to talk about are these masks. Now, the first mask that you want to pay attention to is this one right here, the damaged mask. You're going to need a grand total of 18 of these damaged masks, followed by the next one, which is the, where is it? There it is. Stained mask, which you're going to need 30 of those. And then, of course, for this one, the ominous mask, you're going to need a grand total of 36. Now, it's the same thing that applies with the Jades, the Shavita Jades. You're going to need 3 of these damaged masks to make a stained mask, and 3 of these stained masks to make a ominous mask. And then of course you're gonna need Mora. In general, like between this and leveling up all your talents, if you want a triple crown Eula, you're gonna need a grand total of 7.1 million Mora, which is a lot of Mora, unless you're like me and just farm the heck out of Mora at this point. Now, we're going to talk about this next, Skill Ascensions. Now, as you can see, it's going to show 1 through 10, or 2 through 10 in this case, but you have to triple the amounts of what you see here to get the overall baseline of how much you're going to need to triple crown your Eula. Now, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, Teachings of Resistance is going to be the book that you're going to be farming, which you can farm this domain every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Now, you're gonna need a grand total of 9 to get all your stuff ranked up. And of course, the next one is going to be the guides to resistance. These guides of resistance, same domain, you're gonna need a grand total of 63. And then the next one, the philosophies of resistance, you're going to need a grand total of 114. 114. That's absolutely bonkers with how much you're gonna need. But if you're triple crowning your waifu, then what does it matter? The grind's just there. You're gonna need 3 of these teachings to make the guide and 3 guides to make the philosophies. And it doesn't stop there. It does not stop there. You're gonna need those masks again. How many are you gonna need to addition on that? Damage mask, you're gonna need 18 more. For the stained mask, you're gonna need 66 more. And then of course, for the ominous mask, you're gonna need 93 more on top of what you need for your ascensions. And then we have the last few things, well, really the last thing, the Dragon Lord's Crown. This is the thing that irritates me because I hate this boss with a passion. You're gonna have to fight Asta. Now, Asta is absolutely annoying in my opinion. I hate dealing with Asta so much, but you get at least like 2, maybe 3 of these things when you, not these specifically, but 2 or 3 of these drops basically. And those add up. Again, you're gonna need 18 in total between all 3 of your skills. And then of course you're gonna need 3 crowns of insight, which is the last thing you're gonna need for your Eula. Overall, the grind for Eula is insane, but the grind is insane for every single character. But we're not just here to talk about what you need to grind for. We're also here to talk about what you need to do to play her, at least up to the standard that you're gonna wanna play her. You wanna make sure that your Eula is built for success. If your Eula is not built for success, you're not building yourself for success. And Eula is a little bit, I wouldn't say easier, but there are some things about Eula that make her a little bit easier to deal with. As you can see, my spread is a 75 to 147 because I am using the weapon Wolf's Gravestone instead of focusing on a weapon that would be crit based. Now, you can use other weapons, like you could use the Song of Broken Pines, which is a physical damage weapon. I do not have that, and it makes sense because Eula is a physical damage character. You could also use Serpent Spine to get that crit rate up, and it does work really, really well, followed by the Akumaru, which is a great claymore. And I've seen some people even use the Red Horn Stone Thresher. I wouldn't entirely do it, but to each their own. To each their own. Sorry, I'm still dealing with a little bit of a cold. Now, artifacts. The best set for your Eula is Pale Flame. Easy. Easy peasy. Now, the 2-piece is physical damage is increased by 25%. Your 4-piece set is when an elemental skill hits an opponent, attack is increased by 9% for 7 seconds. The effect stacks up to 2 times and can be triggered once every 0.3 seconds. Once 2 stacks is reached, the 2-set effect is increased by 100%. Which means that you're doing 125% physical damage. That's bonkers. Now, let's talk about your main stats for at least the last 3. Your main stat for your Eula here should be attack percentage, followed by your cup being a physical damage cup, and then your circlet based on what you need most, crit rate or crit damage. As you can see for me, I could probably get rid of my crit rate and go for a crit damage. But I don't have a Pale Flame that does have crit damage, so we're gonna have to deal with that for now. Now, of course, for your other stats, your main focuses should be crit rate and crit damage. That should be your top 2 right there. Attack percentage, and I would say, if anything, energy recharge, you could do that. But your main goal here is to focus on the crits. You need as much crit as possible. Now, let's go ahead and talk about talents here. Talents are important as well, and talent priority is crucial. So, as you can see, most people have been leveling up the burst, followed by the, from looks to be normal attack and then skill. I went ahead and did more of the normal attack because that's where your physical damage is mainly going to come from, followed by the skill and the burst. Honestly, you could do them quite evenly, but a lot of people would say burst over anything else because your burst is what's going to give you that big D damage. What does the D stand for? Big dick damage. That's what's going on here. But let's go ahead and talk about our abilities first. Now, here's the Ice Tide Vortex. If you press it, slashes swiftly, dealing cryo damage when it hits an opponent. Eula gains a stack of Grim Heart that stacks up to 2 times. These stacks can only be gained once every 0.3 seconds. Increases Eula's resistance to interruption and defense. And then, of course, if you hold it, which you can hold it, wielding her weapon, Eula consumes all the stacks of Grim Heart and lashes forward, dealing AoE cryo damage to opponents in front of her. If Grim Heart stacks are consumed, surrounding opponents will have their physical resistance and cryo resistance decreased. Each consumed stack of Grim Heart will be converted into an Ice World brand that deals cryo damage to nearby enemies. The skill is important because of what's going to happen with your burst. Now, Glacial Illumination. Brandishes her greatsword, dealing cryo damage to nearby opponents and creating a Lightfall sword that follows her around for a duration of up to 7 seconds. When presented, the Lightfall sword increases Eula's resistance to interruption. When Eula's own normal attack, elemental skill, elemental burst deals damage to opponents, they will charge the Lightfall sword, which can gain an energy stack once every 0.1 seconds. Once its duration ends, the Lightfall sword will descend and explode violently, dealing physical damage to nearby enemies. The damage scales on the number of energy stacks that Lightfall sword has accumulated. If Eula leaves the field, the Lightfall sword will explode immediately. Why it's important that you have the skill and your normal attack up? Well, you're going to be hitting as hard as you can to get those Lightfall stacks going. Because if you're pressing with Eula, doing the press for Eula's skill here,
beg for mercy.
That's the press. But if you hold,
Eye for an eye.
she twirls a little bit and it's gonna cost you a lot longer. You wanna hit your little skill there, just tap it. Don't worry about holding it for the time being until near the end before your Lightfall sword comes down. It's important because then you're getting extra damage. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Ascension skills. Your first Ascension skill, if 2 stacks of Grim Heart are consumed upon unleashing and holding mode of Ice Tide Vortex, a Shattering Lightfall Sword will be created that will explode immediately, dealing 50% of the basic physical damage dealt by Lightfall Sword created by Glacial Illumination. So you get extra big PP damage right there. And then, of course, your second Ascension skill, when Glacial Illumination is cast, the cooldown of Ice Tide Vortex is reset, and Eula gains 1 stack of Grim Heart. So her kit really plays well together. And that's why I have a characters like Mika here, who is really good about giving you that extra physical and cryo damage. So you want to make sure that you have a Mika here, and it also helps with his attack speed because he's going to give you that big burst right there. I do also have Yunjin on this team to help out with the normal attack damage and the extra damage that would be given from her burst right here. And Kokomi just for freeze and also for healing because, well, we're gonna need it. But we're not here to just talk about, you know, all that. We're here to kind of show it off. Now, I'm not big on physical damage teams. I'm really not. I'm not a big fan of the physical damage, but I do know when people absolutely love it, and Eula is able to perform that big PP damage that we've been talking about this whole time. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, first things first, I want to pull out Mika and start getting that stuff on there. Get this going. And then, whoop, hold on. Let's go ahead. Get that going. Now, there's a reason why we're getting all this stuff ready to go. Get that. Get all this going. Now get all this. We're not worried about just beating him. Boom. Now see, 53k, that might not seem a lot, but my Eula is not all that super powerful. And I also didn't use the held one before I did that. So let's go ahead and let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna get the heal going. We're gonna get all of our stuff back real quick. So my wolf heart thingy is right there, right? We're just getting everything ready to go. Ugh! Stop it. Let's get his thingy to where he's on to the next set. Okay. All right.
Hold the line. Flex up and step.
There's a reason why we did that. Let's get that.
You had your chance. Let's keep going deep.
Freeze to the core.
Let's see what we can do here now.
Shudder. Let us cross swords. I'll be back.
Oh no! My Eula died. No! Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. I done goofed. Let me see if I can salvage this. Okay, well.
My comeuppance.
I done goofed, chat. I done goofed. Well, you basically get the picture. Let's go ahead and heal really quick, and then we're gonna try and show that off one more time. Because what I was trying to do was I was trying to show what would happen after the charge, but that's another thing why I hate being focused on having Eula out for that long. That's the biggest thing for me, is because like I'm not used to a character being out for that long. I'm always making so many switches, but with Eula, you want to make sure that you're in there to get that Grimheart score up a little bit, or Grimheart stacks. So let's go ahead, let's try this one more time. Since we got a little bit of time before I have to end the video. Hone yourself further. Shut up, Masanori, shut your face. You've embarrassed me for the last time.
Neutralizing threats.
Unleash.
Let's get that going.
Yeah.
See, even though I dodge,
Shudder.
that's the crazy thing.
Hold the line. Observe.
We're gonna get the freeze.
Beg for mercy. Yeah. Shudder.
Oh my goodness, stop. Why are you so mean? All right,
Allow me. Flag fly. Observe.
all right.
Strike is one.
Leave the wounded to me. Precision strike.
Flood of frost. Beg for mercy. Rack and ruin.
There we go. Look at that, 131,000 damage. That's what I'm talking about. See, if you do the press and hold before the end of it, that big damage goes up and Eula just absolutely slaps. So she's really good. Plus, again, if you look, oh my God, she's so hot. But here's the thing. The couple things I don't like about Eula is the fact that you have to have her on the field a lot, which to some people might not be a detriment, but to me, personally, it is. However, she does make up for that damage, and if you pair her up with a shielder or healer, like if you use Kokomi, if you use Zhongli, you're gonna be able to get away from that, you know, worry, really. Like as you saw, Kokomi helped out with the healing enough, and I was able to dodge so I could get that massive hit off. Now, my other thing is, physical damage isn't entirely like my favorite thing. I hate having to rely on physical damage. I love elemental damage. I love my elemental reactions, but I digress. There are people out there that do extremely well with physical damage builds. I'm a baby when it comes to this damage. 131,000 is not even close to the highest that I've seen Eula go. So I'm telling you right now, if you do build Eula, really pay attention to what you can do with your Eula. Maybe if my crit would have been up a little bit more, I probably could have gotten her up all the way to like maybe 200 maybe. Might have happened, but honestly, Eula is a good character, and obviously she's so rare in general that it would be a bad thing for me to say to pass her up. But I also have to say, wait until Fountaine, because we do have some really, really big units possibly coming, and that's what I'm excited for, so. Now again, this isn't to deter you from getting Eula. If you really want Eula for the box, or if you really want to run physical damage, she's perfect. She's exactly what you want. Just for me, I would say skip. But if you are summoning for Eula, good luck, and hopefully my guide was able to help you out and understand Eula a little bit more. Sorry that I died at least once, that's my bad. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. And of course, I'd love to respond to comments. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Love you guys to death. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe.